WRESTLE-GAY-NIA!
Your favorite queer-centric wrestling recap show for queers that love wrestling.
And those that are confused and or disturbed by it.
I'm El Sanchez.
And I'm Val Nigro.
And we watch SummerSlam 2017. Woo!
AKA Summer Slap, AKA Summer Suck.
How dare you?
It was long and boring, but I love the alliteration.
Yeah. SummerSlam is WWE's annual event. It's pretty self-explanatory. It's the big wrestling event of the summer where they bring together the roster from SmackDown and Raw, and they all have different matches mixed in between each other. It's very exciting. Val loved it.
Love is a strong word. Let's not use it lightly.
Okay.
Okay. Tolerate might be more appropriate.
Okay. I like the idea that wrestling taught you tolerance.
Yeah. Wrestling is one if it's taught me anything, tolerance.
Match 1 is American hero / polarizing figure John Cena versus Baron Corbin, the apocalypse guy.
Okay, this match was boring. John Cena looks like a giant toddler, which is fitting because you said kids love him.
I mean, yeah, some kids do. A lot of kids do. He's, like I said, a polarizing figure. His chant when he comes out is usually like, "Let's go Cena," and then other people go, "Cena sucks."
It's fun.
Yeah.
And then there's Baron Corbin, who is so boring that his worst insult was to literally call John Cena a moron.
That's right.
Ouch.
The match of the century, hip hop versus apocalypse.
Hip hop?
Well, John Cena is kind of a rapper is his thing, but
toddler rap.
When Baron Corbin first came out, they all have wet hair, the long-haired people, other than AJ Styles, but he looked like he just came from like a free diving competition. Like, besides the fact that he was all wet, he was really out of breath. They hadn't even done anything yet.
He seemed winded.
Yeah.
And soaking wet.
And his outfit was a little scuba diving, like wetsuity. I guess it's an apocalypse thing. This match was, it was okay. Mostly I was just transfixed by John Cena's like banana hands. Like his hands look like 2 bushels of bananas just coming at you. Like, you can't see me.
Banana hands.
Yeah.
That should be a t-shirt.
Yeah.
Did you get that, Cena? Are you watching this? And
it ended with John Cena using his finishing move on Baron, which is called the Attitude Adjustment.
Sounds like a move that like an elementary school teacher would have for like a bad student. Like, you're about to get your attitude adjusted.
Yeah, and he did. Next match is Natalya versus Women's SmackDown Champion Naomi. This is a title match for the SmackDown Women's Championship belt.
Again, the sole women's event.
Yeah.
Boo.
Unfortunately, yeah. Natalya came out in her signature figure skating outfit and her like Bret Hart butt rock music because she's part of the Hart family. I'm sorry, the Hart Foundation. Then champion Naomi comes out in a neon fur coat, or maybe just lights up in the black light. I love Naomi's intro, the Feel the Glow intro. It's fun.
It's very EDM, yes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Although in this one, her dance performance slightly lackluster. I felt like she wasn't super into it. And then she, pulled on the rope for a long time like the Ultimate Warrior. But a much better Ultimate Warrior because that person is garbage. I only say that because he's very homophobic, the guy that played the Ultimate Warrior. The guy that played Ultimate Warrior homophobe, the Ultimate Warrior American hero.
What's Ultimate Warrior again?
So this match was pretty also lackluster, even though I love Naomi. But it was kind of just ended up looking like between Natalya and Naomi wrestling. It kind of looked like Naomi kind of just looked like a Power Ranger, and Natalya with her little twin buns just looked like Rita Repulsa. So, I mean, that was cool.
Yeah, and I wanted to say that my personal highlight was when Natalya literally stopped wrestling to yell at a heckler in the audience, which I think as stand-up comics is very inspirational to us.
Again, I love how much the women lean into their heel roles. They're great villains, much so more than the guys.
I also like that Natalya's finishing move, which I believe was called the sharpshooter, essentially looked like the two of them scissoring. So
yeah, into it. I give that a huge check mark. Thanks.
2 gay thumbs up on that one.
two gay thumbs up.
Where's the finger?
Next match was Big Cass versus Big Show.
Just 2 big dudes wrestling.
Yeah. I think I described it as 2 dudes in orthopedic shoes. The match.
Very supportive shoes.
Yeah.
They're big.
They're big dudes.
They need our support.
Yeah. This match was particularly depressing for me because it reminded me of the recent breakup between my favorite tag team, Big Cass and Enzo. After Big Cass betrayed Enzo, now he's working with the Big Show. It's very upsetting. The whole match had Enzo in the shark cage hung from above so he wouldn't, get in the way and help Big Show. But it's just, I hate watching Big Cass and Enzo fight and just scream at each other. It's like they never wanted to have me in the first place.
My heart goes out to you, first of all.
Thank you.
Secondly, I love Enzo because I too am a person of Italian heritage from New Jersey. As you
tell me that.
What?
Tell me that.
It's like you don't even know me. Wow.
I feel very uncomfortable.
Wait, what part did you not know?
Just
Are you just saying that for dramatic effect? I need to know.
Are you just saying you're Italian for dramatic effect?
We've talked about this.
Oh, okay.
You were like, you're not white, technically, because aren't you Italian?
I'm pretty sure I never said that.
You definitely said that. Anyways.
Okay, so Val's Italian.
And I can definitely verify that his phrases, which include such New Jersey gems as "how you doing" and "bada boom," are very accurate.
Yeah, that's the saddest thing about the breakup of Enzo and Cass is Enzo is the best shit talker, smack talker in WWE now, although they recently moved him to 205 Live. It was very upsetting, but he was the best smack talker on the current WWE roster, and his lines when he comes in are the best, and we're never going to be able to see them for a long time now. But he says when he comes out, they play that Italian music, right? I don't know. What do you call it?
Wow, that's offensive.
You know what I mean. They have the Italian flag, and then they play the little mandolin or whatever. Accordion. Yeah, accordion.
I don't remember.
They play an accordion, and then he comes out, and rap music starts, and he does his saying. Do you remember his saying? Everyone loves his saying.
The bada boom?
No. No, he goes...
Oh, he goes, certified G.
He goes, my name is Enzo Amore, and I'm a certified G and a bona fide stud, and you can't teach that. Right? And
Very Guido.
Yeah.
I love it.
And when him and Cass were together, he used to say, and this is Big Cass, and he's 7 foot tall, and you can't teach that. And then he goes, bada boom, realest guys in the room. How you doing? And then he runs into the ring. It's great.
Me, all my life.
So
from a young age. So Enzo's suspended in this cage over the wrestling match.
This is like a shark cage, like a shark diving cage.
That's the kind of cage it was.
Specifically,
it was a shark-proof cage.
It's made to be proof from shark. Proofed.
So he was in a shark-proof cage, suspended above the ring, and he was just doing weird shit, like doing his dance and kind of humping the cage. And then he took what appeared to be lube out of his crotch and squeezed the lube all over himself and then put on a pair of rubber gloves and managed to... I was like, is he going to fist himself or escape? And unfortunately, it was the latter.
Yeah.
But he got in there and... I forget what happened after that.
He fell into the ring after he wiggled his way out of the cage. And immediately, he dropped himself, but he immediately got knocked out by Big Cass. He got a boot to the face.
Yeah, which we were bummed because he went through all that work to lube himself out of there. So
right. It was kind of
sorry, Enzo.
The reason that Val called SummerSlam Summer Slap has a lot to do with this particular match because most of it was Big Cass slapping Big Show's hand that he had wrapped because
his bad hand.
His bingo hand. He's like 95 years old, Big Show, I swear to God. Like he's not. They need to let him retire. I mean, that's the saddest thing about watching this match is he's like his knees look like they're hurting. He's like tired. He can't do a whole lot in the ring because he's a large man and he's got joint problems.
He's a big guy. He has the supportive shoes though. But yeah his bad hand got slapped a lot. So
yeah. In the end, Big Cass won with one of his moves called the Empire Elbow because he's from New York. That's not how it goes, but just like that, it's elbow, Empire. Next match is Sasha Banks versus Alexa Bliss.
Oh, there was another women's match.
Yeah, there was. These are two women. These are two women from the Raw roster. Alexa Bliss is the current champ, so Sasha Banks is wrestling her to try and get the title. Bayley was supposed to wrestle Alexa Bliss, but I guess she had one of her patented Bayley injuries that she gets all the time.
Ouch. When I asked you about Sasha Banks, you said she was widely considered to be the hottest female wrestler.
I mean, yeah, by people, she's definitely considered hot. I mean, I think she's pretty cute. To me, she's not the hottest for me personally, but a lot of people think she is.
And then there's Alexa Bliss, who has kind of this like Avril Lavigne-ish, like bratty punk look,
like a Harley Quinn Hot Topic, Ugh.
Yeah, which I kind of overrelated with her because we both have our belly buttons pierced in 2017. So,
yeah, she grosses me out because she has blonde hair with pink tips, and it reminds me of this girl I was in 5th grade with named Melissa that used to suck on her own hair. It was like blonde, and one time she pulled it out and there was blood at the end, and that's what I think about when I see blonde hair with.
So this was a little triggering for you.
Yeah, it was a little upsetting.
Brought back a lot of middle school memories.
Didn't like it. Sasha Banks wins, which is good. She's the baby face, so she wins. Alexa's the heel. So she won with her finishing move, the Banks statement.
Fun wordplay on that one.
Yeah. My favorite thing about watching wrestling with Val is telling her what people's finishing moves are.
And just to see how heavily I can sigh and how hard I can roll my eyes.
I was so excited when Sasha did it. I was like, this one's called the Banks statement.
I had my head in my hands. Like, I'm still mad about it.
Next match is Bray Wyatt, Eater of Worlds, versus Finn Balor, the Demon King.
Epic.
Yeah.
This match was very foggy. There was just a lot of fog.
Yeah.
Bray Wyatt has an actual lantern that appears to be filled with dry ice, which is fun.
I love Bray Wyatt's intro when he comes out with the lantern and they turn all the lights off and then everybody puts their cell phones out just a swamp full of fireflies. I saw it live in Seattle and I put my phone out. I was so excited. It was so exciting.
They're forever changed.
I know. I like Bray Wyatt. I wish they would push him more. I think he's great. I love his whole New Orleans swamp thing. Into it. Like magical, mystical. They're both these characters are basically spooky characters. And it's important to note that Finn Balor came out as his demon character, which he hasn't for a long time since he got back into wrestling. He had an injury that kept him out for a long time. And he's just been wrestling as himself as Finn Balor. But he has a character called the Demon King, which has a very involved costume and makeup situation.
Yeah, really scary. Seems to have belts for hair.
Yeah.
Terrifying.
Yeah. And he hadn't been the demon for a while, but Bray Wyatt brought the demon out of him because the last time they wrestled, he poured a bucket of fake blood onto Finn Balor after he beat him. And Finn Balor was like, I also have demons, but with like an Irish accent or something.
I wish you didn't tell me about that bucket of blood thing because then they didn't do the bucket of blood this time and I was really disappointed.
It would have been kind of redundant, I think.
Ouch. Yeah. That would have been redundant. Not for me.
Oh, well, not for you, but They both had pretty spooky intros that were very long. Like we talked about Bray Wyatt's, and Finn Balor's was just all red lights and, like you said, smoke machines. So much smoke machines. You could barely tell what was going on. He crawled out. It was a very long intro because he crawled all of his way to the ring.
Yeah, I was like...
Yeah. So, but because the intros were so spooky, once the match started and they turned the lights on,
it was too bright. It wasn't
kinda,
spooky enough. It ruined the mood.
It did ruin the mood. It was kind of less like, it looked kind of dorky.
They should have done it by lantern light.
Oh my god, that would have been so cool. Let's email them.
My favorite part was when Finn Balor rapidly punched Bray Wyatt in the white dreads, which I think is appropriate.
Yeah, Finn Balor won with his sling blade move. And apparently scared Bray Wyatt as he was trying to attempt the crab walk. It was a little anticlimactic.
Yeah. He outboringed him.
Yeah.
Congrats.
Next match is Shinsuke Nakamura versus current WWE champ Jinder Mahal.
Bit of a size mismatch.
It is a size mismatch in the sense that Shinsuke is more of an athletic wrestler. He's a smaller person. Jinder Mahal is
very veiny,
very huge. Yeah, that dude's huge. Like, he's super jacked. Like his back, just his muscles on his back look like a bag of russet potatoes. Just like,
you're loving the fruit and vegetable metaphors.
it's true. It does. He's so buff. It's like, it's painful to watch how buff he is. It's like he's so, but it was, and it was kind of more embarrassing to watch because Nakamura is known for his wrestling technique, and he's legendary for that reason. And then they paired him up with Jinder, who's more so about being a character
and having the weight of all of India on his very muscly back.
On his bag of potatoes. But, you know, so it's kind of sad because Jinder isn't very good of a wrestler. So it was kind of sad to watch the mismatch between him and Shinsuke, because Jinder just couldn't compete really with move-wise. He's more just a big dude that throws you around and has, you know, really good at being a heel and talking shit about America.
And doing really intense facial expressions.
Yeah, he's really good at facial expressions. And of course, Jinder wins and retains the belt, again, with the help of his friends, the Singh brothers.
Oh, yeah. He always has those little henchmen that are helping him.
Yeah. I mean, he always has someone helping him out. Last time it was Great Khali and the Singh brothers. Now it's just the Singh brothers. I would like to watch him win on his own. I mean, or maybe not. He's kind of boring me. I'm starting to lose interest. Final match of the night, the highlight of the night that everyone was waiting for, or somebody was.
I was really waiting.
Yes,
for this.
Specifically that was the fatal four-way between the Beast Incarnate, Brock Lesnar, and Samoa Joe, and Roman Reigns, and Braun Strowman.
Finally some action. People were getting thrown around on this one. Yeah,
this one was a lot of big dudes, you know, pushing each other, throwing each other into tech equipment. There was a lot of that. A lot of announcing booths got destroyed.
So this was a bunch of giant men throwing each other around like rag dolls.
Right.
One of the big men threw one of the other onto the announcing booth.
Right.
Who was that again?
Braun Strowman threw Brock Lesnar on.
Braun threw Brock.
Mm-hmm. Oh, now they sound like a bunch of jocks. I mean, they are, I guess. Yeah.
So Braun threw Brock, and that was fun because it seemed like they were actually damaging some electronics. Some iPads were lost.
Yeah, definitely.
B, there was a bunch of EMTs came out to carry. Was it
Brock Lesnar?
Brock. Yeah. Carried Brock out on a stretcher. Very dramatic.
Yeah.
Although then he came back later and won, probably because he got a nice rest. But I just like that everyone looked like legit. I mean, I know wrestling is fake, but everybody looked legitimately injured and or almost dead.
Because it is a legitimate athletic competition. You know, they're throwing each other on stuff.
Sorry I said the F word.
But I mean, this match was was interesting. I mean, the thing is, it was the coolest looking match to the point that the audience started chanting, "This is awesome!"
And I was like, wow, okay.
Yeah. But it was a bunch of wrestlers that I don't really care about. Like Vince McMahon has been trying to push Roman Reigns on us for a while. Like ever since the Shield broke up, which Roman Reigns was a part of, and now he's a singles wrestler, or has been since then. And he's so bored. I'm so bored with him. Like and Vince McMahon insists that he's a babyface, so he tries to make him a hero, but everyone hates him, which
especially because he does that weird punch move that we also matched.
Oh yeah, the Superman punch.
Lock and load it, baby. I was like, I'm pretty sure Superman doesn't lock and load it. I think he just punches really hard.
Also, I couldn't get over how much Roman Reigns was doing the Superman punch, like a ridiculous. Like he was just like, and then he'd go to a corner and be like, and at some point it just turned into this sloppy like.
He overdid it.
Yeah, he overdid it. I do not like Roman Reigns. Like and the audience doesn't either. And Vince McMahon just will not pick up on this. Like the audience boos him.
Vince, if you're watching this, we do not like, what's his name again?
Roman Reigns.
We do not like Roman Reigns nor his locking and loading.
No.
Prior to punching.
The Roman Empire is dead. Like, stop. Stop. My favorite sign I ever saw at a wrestling match with Roman Reigns was someone else's sign that said, "When it rains, it bores." Ouch. Ouch. And the sad thing, though, is watching Roman Reigns when he comes out and people boo him, you can tell he's sad.
Upset.
It legitimately hurts his feelings a little bit.
I feel for him. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, in conclusion, I really like this match because it was a bunch of men throwing each other around to the point that they're all crying like little babies with head wounds at the end of it.
Yeah.
Now, is that because that is just universally compelling, or am I just an angry feminist bitch?
I mean, I think both those things can be true. Every episode of WRESTLE-GAY-NIA, I give Val some homework to explain something about wrestling. This time, Val's question is, can you tell our viewers why Brock Lesnar, who always comes out and his shorts have Jimmy John's logos on them, and sometimes when he has a shirt on, it'll have the Jimmy John's logo. So Val, can you explain to our audience why Brock Lesnar is sponsored by Jimmy John's?
Well, honestly, I think that this is just an attempt for some crossover appeal to the NASCAR demographic. I mean, they love having logos on everything. So it could catch on with other wrestlers. I think Jimmy John's in particular is great because it's a little bit more metal than Subway.
Yeah.
Considering like the black color scheme on the bike delivery guys and people.
Yeah.
I think also that other wrestlers should be sponsored by fast food chains. I mean, obviously, John Cena could be McDonald's because toddlers love
because
McDonald's.
You're loving it.
And because you're loving it. You're loving it. Enzo could be Little Caesars because they like doing Italian stereotypes.
Okay. Yeah. So this time I have a special show and tell item that I'm very excited.
They have a lot of items they like, so
this is my Samoa Joe action figure. He was in the final match at SummerSlam. This is actually his action figure from when he was wrestling with TNA, not with the WWE roster he's on now, which I think he's on Raw or SmackDown.
Important to note, I'm sure.
Important to note, I got this. This isn't beat up because I've owned it for my whole life. It's beat up because I actually got it for free when I was in Mukwonago, Wisconsin at a cake shop, and I was picking up a cake, like a quinceañera cake for my queer friend who'd never had a quinceañera before in her life. So we threw this, it was at queer camp. I worked for this queer camp that's in Wisconsin, and one of my co-counselors we decided to throw her a surprise quinceañera because she'd never had one. And so we bought this really hideous cake from a local cake shop, and they had a thing that was like, if you buy a kid's cake, you get a free toy. And so we were picking up.
You're like, we're getting a kid's cake, people.
Yeah, well, we were picking it up for me and my other friend were sent to go pick it up and so while I was there, I was like, oh, they have a Samoa Joe action figure. And so I got this for free with a quinceañera cake. Worth it.
I'm just impressed that it's new in box.
Mint condition. I could sell this on eBay for
like
for
$10,
smiles.
I'm
You know?
sure.
No, it costs smiles.
Plus shipping.
It only.
Are you sure it's not dented because you cuddle with it every night before going to sleep?
Yeah, I'm sure, Val. God. This has been WRESTLE-GAY-NIA for Jet Space Magazine. I'm Elle Sanchez.
And I'm Val Nigro. If you liked the episode, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Watch where you're pointing that.
Sorry. Thanks for tuning in. Be sure to catch us next time.
Remember, if I have to do it, so do you.
Bye.
Bye.